So here we are again with the second part of the overview of the basic guidelines on how to change the world of money. Do you ever find yourself buried in piles of bills, or wondering why some people seem to be winners while others losers? You're not alone. So if you are willing to make your life better and improve yourself, then you are in the right place. Here in this video, let's discuss some of the imperative principles that can guide one to the new, better version of themselves. Picture yourself with the key to not only possessing money, but achieving wealth in each sphere of human life. It tells you exactly how to plan for a happy tomorrow, and how your decisions such as earning more than you spend and who you select as your marital partner shape your future. Well, if you are not tired of a constant search for a source of passive income and personal financial stability, welcome. Some of the things you will never want to miss, and they might change your life for the better. Capital, much like a child who gets bored easily, has to be engaged. Otherwise, it evaporates. If you keep your money in a low-yield saving account, you are, in effect, leaving them to stagnate. Rather, it can be viewed as an active performer, like an athlete who gets bored and degrades when not put to right use. Invest in stocks or mutual funds that have tensile strength and strength to withstand oft-repeated downturn. For instance, research on index funds that are associated with S&P 500. The funds have proven to make good performance over the long run. Not only are you creating a better life for yourself by making your money work for you, but you are also creating a future. And who wouldn't want that? So always understand, the pressure can at times be overwhelming to give that first step, but it is important. One of the fundamental rules for financial success is simple yet powerful. Spend less than you earn. It sounds easy, right? However, what large numbers of people fail to meet is the pressure brought by lifestyle inflation. Imagine this. You receive a salary increment, then you find yourself wanting to switch to a better model car or renting a better house. But let's not forget that growth occurs most of the time in the ugly places of self-discipline. Why not create a budget that is meant to save and invest rather than spend recklessly? There are also apps where you can record your spending and ensure they are within your capability. They include the budgets. Suffice to say that when you are motivated to spend less money than you earn, you are not only paying yourself well in the present, but also preparing for a future which will bring forth better chances of making more money. And who knows? Such discipline may also put one in a position of unpredicted financial liberty. Money has to be seen as your own defensive force, which would be defend the goal of financial independence. In other words, when you invest strategically, you are reinforcing this army to work for you while guaranteeing the army is being expanded day by day. Instead of having this money frozen in that account, better invest it on assets that has a history of standing tall and rising higher. For example, it is possible to invest in property. Most pieces of property tend to rise in value over time and are good moneymakers due to the receipt of rental income. Instead, you may try finding stocks in companies that have track record of stable and steady growth. This way you don't just generate income but accumulate capital free from the vulnerability of harsh economic cycles. As you realize, whenever you give your money the ability to work for you, the better life you always dream of is just around the corner. Picking a life partner can influence people's financial success, and people may not always be aware of that. A lover can make you want to achieve more in life and encourage personal growth, and on the other hand, a wrong choice costs your time and strength. Think about it. In particular, the idea was highlighted that similar financial interests of both partners create a powerful impetus for creating a better future. For instance, while one person may value saving and investment, the other person may also hold the same value, which makes them secure a bigger amount of cash, for instance to purchase land or start up a business venture. On the other side, if one of the partners spends too much time and/or efforts on the use of the products and/or services, it evokes pressure and stress in the key variables for both partners. So, do not rush with a decision, failing which it will be impossible to create not only love but also compatibility in terms of finance as the foundation of accumulating wealth. It is important to realize that money is used to solve money-related calamities only. It can help to ease financial pressure at some extent, but lacks any means to solve other life problems such as emotional and personal satisfaction. For example, consider a case wherein an individual has an accident, a win, or a lot of money, possibly from an inheritance or a lottery win. In the beginning, they may perceive these schemes as their saviors from all sorts of hardships, but what everyone will fail to sense is that they lack resilience and self-awareness to deal with new arising issues. Forget applying for a grant and instead work more on your social assets and personal skills such as emotional intelligence. In my case, a good example of practicing self-enhancement involves reading books that touch on self-improvement or attending seminars. This way, when the money comes, it's possible to manage it well without being tempted to assume that the money is the solution to all problems. Knowing the difference between having cash in hand and being well off is very important for anyone who, for instance, is struggling to get a better standard of living. Most of the people today define wealth with cash balance in account, yet there is a holistic aspect of wealth touching on health, family, and even satisfaction. Let's take a case of a person earning $150,000 but wholly dedicating his or her time to work and little or no regard for his or her health or family. Yes, they may be financially well off, but they don't know the full value of living and the worth of relationship. Remember, the balanced and healthy life is not only about adding money to your wallet but also adding colors to your life. Exercise and practice the passions one has, such as volunteering, because they are good for the soul. Moreover, you are not simply reaping your profits, you are building a life full of wonderful bodily experiences and meaningful relationships. Something money cannot buy for a bright future. In the larger scheme of things, all your rewards will always be commensurate with your effort put in. It applies not only in the financial aspect, but in all fields of individual development. In the case of health, if you are working for it, whether by exerting effort through working out, innovation through a program, or serving through voluntary work, you get the fruits of it. For instance, let's look at a person spending some of their free time on coaching others. They establish trusting connections and positive associations, and sometime in the future those may be monetized. It's about making value in the environment in and around you. Therefore, instead of bearing in mind how you could make money, give a thought to how you could be of positive influence to your society or workplace. The improvement of the lives of others makes yourself position a better financial capability and a richer life. Still, as everyone knows, the more you pay, the better return you are usually expected to get. Here, at the end of the second part of our travels, it's important that we unload some of the transformative ideas we have brought forth. Now, are you prepared to control your financial life and start using these rules on your way? Oh yes, knowledge isn't a commodity if it is not put to good use, or in this case, good action. Then what on earth is holding you back from making those changes right now? And this is not just the process of making money, but rather the process of gaining as much value out of life as can be. As you will be moving forward in your learning of these principles, it is important that you reflect on how these principles may be incorporated into daily applications and who it may be applicable to in the future. Oh, and this is only the first step. So remember, if you did get any value from this video, do make sure you remember to subscribe so you can get notification for the next episode and our journey towards molding ourselves into financial masterminds. Continuing with the lecture, let it be about everything. Let's continue with learning and developing.